peace in all things, in every moment of our being, from our birth upon this earth. And before this, all things have a purpose of this, of your relationship with the one truth that there is, the one being that there is, this one that God is. Truly, I wish for you to see it. I wish for you to see it. The love that God has upon you. For so many, it is so difficult to conceive of this, to believe of this. They see the horrible things that they may find in this world, the hurt that they may find with themselves, the things that will happen, the things that their own hand may do. And it is so difficult for our eyes to be open, for our ears to hear it, that we may listen, that our hearts are open to this, that God's love is upon you, that for you who hears me, all of eternity, all of this world, all of this earth, all of the heavens, everything that has been, everything that can be, it is uniquely created for you, justly for you. My own being, I'm created justly for you. You are created justly for me. God has crafted us in this way. The love is upon you. At all times, in all ways, God's love is upon you. And it is a depth beyond what you can know. It is a mercy that you witness. And you who hears me, I seek for you to know that God's love is upon you. That whatever is occurring now in your heart, in this mind, that you have been allowed, that you may wonder and that you may know, this earth that has been crafted for you, everything that you may find here, all of the difficulty, all of the struggle, that this is destined for you. God's love is upon you, that this is destined for you. And that you may take these footsteps, and that you will fall down upon your knees, and that you will cry out, and that you will seek, that God may know you, that you seek for this love to be upon you, or that you may be a denial of it upon yourself. And you are blessed in this, you are blessed in this way, that you are allowed to wander out into this desert that this world is, where it seems so much of what should be justly and easily good is wrong, where there are so many of us and we do not have each other. That you may walk out into this world, that you may stumble, you may see these injustices, there may be a wrongdoing of your own hand, that you will falter, you will fall down, and that you cry out, that God may know you, and that you may know of God's loving mercy and forgiveness and the deliverance that is found here in all that you are. And that this test is upon you, that you sat in heaven before your time here. You sat in heaven, and all that you would go through was being written for you. A test upon you, that you may come here and know of yourself in all of this difficulty and all of this struggle, and that you may find here this love that is upon you, that God is always and forever with you. I seek for you to know it in any that I am, in any that I may speak, in all that is witnessed of me. I seek for you to know this, that God's love is upon you, and that I am not separate from you. In all that I may witness, that I too may find this in you, that you too may find this in me, that our eyes meet this, God's love upon us, in one and another, and that we resolve this. We resolve this in this desert, in all of this wrongdoing of your hands and mine. In this desert, where so much is wrong and out of place to our eyes, that we find this, that we come to this of ourselves and each other, that this is revealed upon us through all of this difficulty, all of these tests and trials upon us, that this is revealed, that this desert may be an oasis, that God's love is upon you, that God's love is upon me, that this is revealed in all things. I seek for you to know it. And you see with your eyes, you see with mine. All truth will come to be and pass before you. And you who follows after, the footsteps you have left behind, that you are a blessing upon this earth, that your footsteps are a truth, are a meaning, amidst all that may seem as mere suffering, that your footsteps are a meaning and a purpose of heaven, that this desert be an oasis in your faith, in your strength, in your perseverance, in your willingness to witness of yourself, all of this difficulty, all of this wrongdoing, that we fall down together upon our knees, knowing the wrong we have done each other, your hand and mine, no one separate from another, and that we come to this union of being, that God's love is revealed. And that these footsteps you leave behind you, flowers bloom from this, that you are a garden, that you are an oasis, that you are a place to rest, that you may receive this of yourself, a place to rest, that God has always granted this to you, that this is never withheld from you, this perpetual, this continual state of deliverance. God's love is upon you, that your heart is beating, that you have life, that death cannot take from you. In this way, God's love upon you, that you have life. You may receive this. You may have this here and now, just as I am, just as you are, entirely worthy of this. Be humble before this, that you are worthy of God's love. Surrender your pride. Be humble before this, that you have worth of heaven, that all suffering has purpose, that you know this, that you have worth of heaven, that God's love is upon you, and that you may grant, as God has granted you, all righteous authority, that you may have this mercy and forgiveness, that you may be this mercy and forgiveness, that you may give this mercy and forgiveness, that you may return yourself upon all others, God's love upon you, that you may freely choose this. As you walk through this desert, you may be this oasis. And what do you thirst for? But that you have this purpose of deliverance, that you find in this, that you thirst for this, that nothing else will be a relief to you in this world as you walk through this desert. Nothing else will be a relief to you but the truth of your being, the truth that I am, that God's love is upon you, and that nothing may take this from you. Nothing may take this from you. And I seek for you to know it. And all that you see in this world, it will cry out and beg for you to know it. You may seek for peace. And you will be giving conflict and destruction, that you may know this of yourself, that you may have this of yourself, that no two are separate from each other, that your suffering is mine. Any abuse I occur upon you is upon myself. Any wrongdoing of my hand is the wrongdoing of yours. That we occur upon each other and ourselves. And so you may seek for peace, that you not suffer. You may seek for peace, that you not know consequence of your own hand. What contradictions have you allowed to live within you, that you are not worthy of this, that God's love is upon you? It requires this, that you know this of every other, God's love upon you, that you know this of every other. And everywhere you go, and everything that you see, this story will be told. It will capture the hearts and the minds of all men. This something must be done for you to have this. we enter into this world, into this desert, where now you may find thirst, you may find hunger, you may find sin, you may find death. And men of all walks of life, in every tradition, will begin to decide of themselves what is right, what is needed, what is required, that you may have what you believe you have lost, that you may reclaim this life. And we forget amongst ourselves and our arrogance and pride, we forget. We set up camps. We create nations and tribes. And we begin to decide what is right, what must be done, that I may have this, what's been lost, life. And we forget that in all things, God has already decided what is right. And God's judgment was such, God's wisdom, God's perfect knowledge of you, that God would craft you in this way, that God would know this of you. Everything wicked and damned of your being before it has ever been done. And God has already decided that God's love is upon you. Mercy and forgiveness is upon you. A life that death cannot take from. That God's love is upon you, beyond your human mind and rationale, beyond and before any story was spoken, before any nation fell or rose. This was decided. Before the first man took breath and walked about upon the earth, before first sin, you have always been reclaimed, you have always been redeemed. God's love was never taken from you, but you are allowed to forget. You are allowed this desert, this thirst. That you may find everything of your being true and false. You may learn of yourself truly what you thirst for. And to who has already given you a relief, a place of rest within your own being and that of mine. You see, we come into this world and we begin in this way that there is not enough. And so we make enemies of each other. We find differences that God made in each and every man, that we may find beauty and we find reason to hate them. You see, because there are places within ourselves that yet we still deny this. That God's love is upon you, this is already done. And whenever you meet this, you see, it will not matter what wrong has been done to you, what wrong you have done. When you find this decision that the Most High and Wise, fully aware and awake to every part of your being, has already decided and is perpetually granting and offering you, that God's love is upon you, it is within you, it has never withheld you. And you find this of yourself, it is awake in all others. Your eyes, they see it in all others, the one that you are. The one that you are, that God has granted you. You see it in all others. Here is forgiveness. Here is innocence. And I seek for you to know it. Thusly, all things occurring within me become a proof of this. That God's love is upon me. I see this within you. I accept of you. That your footsteps and mine may grant this earth a paradise. Here is reason of being. Here is fact of nature. That there are no others. There is but one. And this is the one that you are. And this is the one that I am. This love of God upon us. And that we grant this acceptance, this allowance. That we thank each other for this. That we have found in every struggle, in every suffering, that we have found of ourselves a beauty and a truth in one and in other. That I recognize of myself the love of God upon me. I recognize of myself in you the love of God upon me. The love of God upon you. That we share this in our hearts, in our eyes. That we are humble before this. That something far greater than you or I has decided. God's love upon you, God's love upon me. Humble before this. We must be this together and set down our pride. There is something greater to be. And I'm grateful for this. And I'm grateful for you. That we may know this together. Glory, grace, strength, thanks, grateful God. That you are courage, strength, protection. I'm with you. Peace.